Pokemon Legends ZA has finally been birthed from the dry, dusty womb of Game Freak, and everyone universally agrees that it looks amazing. How did this happen? How does it keep happening? Pokemon is the highest grossing entertainment franchise on God's green flat earth. I know that's not just video game software sales, but they have Scrooge McDuck piles of money, and you would think they would allocate more than 15 Prussian francs to continue to develop good video games. They still charge 85 Canadian rupees for it though.
You're Canadian. Fuck you.
The Pokemon Company and Game Freak continue to rest their fat, hairy balls directly on the foreheads of their super loyal fans. Thousands of Chinese children worked quadruple overtime to get these Switch 2s out to the public. Game Freak doesn't even bother to develop a game that takes advantage of the newer hardware.
Do you think that I'm retarded?
This behemoth can only be sustained by people who want to fuck Lopunny and Gardevoir for so long. I hear the meat tastes better if you nut inside. It's ironic that this massive franchise started out as a technical marvel. The amount of fuckery and duct tape required to get the first gen to work on the original Game Boy is astounding. And it was all developed on workstations that were rocks with pictures painted on them, powered by a hamster chasing a hot dog on a wheel. I was 8 years old when Pokemon Gold came out, and when it spread around the schoolyard that the entire Kanto region from the first game was fully explorable, with its own gym leaders and everything, my whispering third eye was opened. They managed to fit all that shit onto this thing. My friends and I would hide our Game Boys in our backpacks so we could trade during recess. One time as a prank, we stuck a firecracker in the principal's pee hole and his balls exploded. This was all accomplished by the late Satoru Iwata, who stayed awake for literally 4 hours straight to get this all to work. The newer gen games were developed with even half of the technical know-how and undying dedication that the first two gens were made with. We would have a Pokemon game that looks like Doom Eternal. Pokemon desperately needs a slap, and by that I mean real competition. There are other games out there seriously giving Pokemon a run for their vast hordes of money in terms of quality, but undying Pokemon fans try to gaslight everyone into believing that Pokemon is the high bar that all these games can be measured against. I just ignore them like when my wife tries to convince me I'm gay. Palworld launched in early 2024 and looked to take a bite of Pokemon's spotted dick, but competition is strictly forbidden in Nintendo Land Funland, so they sued the developers so hard their future kids could feel it. That's if Nintendo allows them to have kids, that is. It looked so good in the early days. Pokemon with guns, with real-time combat, real-time monster catching, and mod support. Instead of using competition to increase their own output, Nintendo spread their ass cheeks and sucked them up. They also had the gall to patent the concept of summoning creatures to fight other creatures in video games. So I guess no more Necromancer, no more Hunter in World of Warcraft, the world's very first and only MMO. They should go after Ghostbusters as well. I really want to fuck the Marshmallow Man. Digimon Story Time Stranger is the best competition the Pokemon Company has right now in terms of video games, and it eats the dandruff out of ZA's ass hair. It does monster battling and evolving with actual narrative, not just a child wandering the wilderness getting mauled by massive creatures. The exact same tale Pokemon has been telling since the original game. It's doing pretty well on Steam too, and JRPGs don't typically sell very well on PC. That's been PlayStation's crown for a while. We need more of this. More quality titles encroaching on Pokemon's territory to force them to respond. Competition breeds excellence. That's what my parents told me when I found out they were cousins. It's just such a monumental task to convince Pokemon fans that they are paying a premium for a subpar product. All they have to do is skip one generation, and not even the entire thing. Wait a month before you buy the stupid double pack because for some reason Pokemon games still release with 2 separate editions. Sales go down, Nintendo will pull their pants down and slap their big fat horse cock directly on the desk of Pokemon Company's CEO's desk and demand they make changes. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, and don't tell Nintendo, but there's a shitload of older Pokemon games you can play, and you don't have to pay for them. It's a very well kept secret, and there's no way anybody could possibly know without the ancient Eldritch knowledge, but they're out there. The very games that pushed Pokemon to the success it has today can all be played on your phone. Just wipe the jizz stains off the screen and play.
A jizz of mayonnaise is required.
There are tons of ROM hacks out there for every single game in the series. Some completely rebalance the entire game and make it a nearly new experience. You can play one or more of those for a while, and by the time you want a new Pokemon, it'll be better hopefully. There's just so many normies out there that will buy anything with the Pokemon logo on it. They could release a glossy, steaming fresh turd on a plate, and Pokemon fans would buy it if it was formed into the shape of Pikachu. The real ones need to stop supporting these Pokemon releases until Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, or whoever makes the final call addresses the horrendous quality of the recent Pokemon releases. That's why I think Pokemon deserves a slap. Please grab your Nintendo Switch and hurl it with all your might directly at the subscribe button if you liked the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.